Reverend Dr. L. Ronald Durham. This weekly program opens the phone lines for you to call in live and share your questions or comments. On this program, we discuss the latest news and opinions of things that may affect the lives of those here in Daytona Beach and the nation. So join Dr. Durham for today's program.
The following show is a sponsor of Joy 106.3. Joy 106.3 is parent company Ringer Broadcasting Inc. Its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show hosts, callers, or their guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of this radio station.
Good afternoon, beloved, and welcome to this edition of Let's Chat America. I am your radio host, the Reverend Dr. L. Ronald Durham. My lovely co-host, Maureen, better known as Mo, is in the studio right next to me. Good morning, Mo. How are you?
Good morning.
And, of course, our studio engineer is Tyler, so that means the gang is all here.
We're delighted. The gang's all
if you're
here.
Tuned in, you're listening to the number one talk show in Volusia County and the surrounding area every Thursday and Friday from 12 noon until 1 p.m. Hopefully you're on your lunch hour right now, and if you are in Daytona Beach, you might not want to go too far from the office. Bikers are everywhere, and it's taking a half hour just to go 2 blocks because they are in and out of traffic, and you might want to stay close to home or close to your office for the rest of this week. They will be, but if you got to go out, listen, be careful because like I said, they're in and out of traffic and weaving through from one lane to the other. So watch your rear view mirror, your side mirrors, because you never know when one of them will sneak up on you. This is your radio show, and that means you can call in if you have a question or a comment. We're going to give you the question of the day, and the question of the day will be available for you to answer throughout the entire broadcast. You can answer it by giving us a call, or you can put a question or a comment on our Facebook Live page if you're watching us on Facebook, and Tyler will get it to us, and we'll try to get it on the air. Last week, we were surprised to hear about an incident, if you remember, at Campbell Middle School.
Yeah.
Turned out to be one that was not as serious as speculation had it to be. It was a student with a BB gun that looked like a real gun.
Serious enough.
Yeah,
you could shoot somebody's eye out with that.
Thankfully, it didn't turn out to be anything major. And so, listen, when you hear stuff going on in the community like that, you're watching Facebook or you're listening, call in, let us know. I have a direct contact with Sheriff Chitwood and or the Chief of Police here in Daytona, Jakari, and we will get an answer quickly and make sure we get that on the air so that everybody in the community knows what's going on. If you want to call in, the number to call is 386-868-3411. That's 386-868-3411. That line is open right now, and you can give us a call. It is 2 minutes past the hour of 12 noon. We're going to start with our news shorts, and as I said, there will be a question of the day. After the news shorts, I will give you that question of the day, and you can respond to that anytime throughout the hour. News shorts.
All right. We said that measles could be coming to Florida. Well, guess what? It's here. Make sure your kids have those measles vaccines. Vitamin A isn't going to be sufficient enough to ward it off. You've got to get those vaccinations and hurry. All right, no more paid parking at Venetian Bay. Yay, the issue's resolved. Thank you to New Smyrna Beach. A lot of people were deterred from going to the businesses in the Venetian Bay Town Center because of the parking situation. And now the fight is over and parking is free. So go support the spa at Venetian Bay, the Brew Coffee Shop, and Bistro 424 because, again, parking is free. Rabies is on the rise in Volusia County.
Wow.
Avoid touching wild animals. That includes those stray cats you've been feeding and you think like you. If you're bitten or scratched, seek medical help immediately to avoid the trauma of rabies. It's official. Greater Friendship Baptist Church has called Reverend William Robinson to be their next pastor.
Wow.
We wish him success.
Yep.
George Ingram Boulevard has been the hub of Christian Midtown for a century. Tubman King, Mount Mission, Mount Carmel, Allen Chapel, and Greater Friendship have been the mainstay of a middle-class community who cares about their neighbors.
Yeah.
It's time to show our Christian strength once again.
Congratulations, Pastor Robinson.
Tariffs went into effect Tuesday from Mexico, Canada, and China. With the new 25% tariffs, the Canadian government has announced it will play tit for tat. The electricity we purchase from Canada along our northern border just got more expensive. I pray that the amateurs running our U.S. government will soon discover that running a company is not the same as running a country. In case you haven't noticed, Number 47's governing style is amateurish. He does what he's always done in life. He throws everything at the fan and waits to see what sticks. If it fails, oh well. He just moves on with another idea. It doesn't matter to him what debris he leaves in his wake. And finally, Republicans are not speaking out about the atrocities going on in the Trump administration for fear of losing their seats in Congress. Elon Musk has threatened to financially back and effectively purchase the votes for any Republican candidate willing to replace disgruntled Republicans of the old guard who dare to stand up to Trump. This is how Musk and Trump hope to see the mouths of the Republican Congress shut while they wreak havoc over our economy. Citizens, we are in serious trouble.
All right, there you have the news shorts for today. And because we have a special guest, we're not going to have our normal local, state, or county news. We'll reserve that for tomorrow's program. But as I mentioned, the question of the day is going to be given right now, and you can answer that question anytime throughout the entire hour of the program. Here is the question of the day. Was Trump's State of the Union address presidential? That's the question of the day. Was the Trump's State of the Union address presidential?
Our studio engineer, Tyler, says it sounded like a high school debate club. She also asked, why are the Republicans blaming Obama for a recession when he wasn't even president yet? And why don't they mention that every Republican president since World War II has been in power during at least one recession? Sounds like our studio engineer is a conscientiously informed citizen.
All right, you can call in and answer that question of the day. Was Trump's State of the Union address presidential? The number to call is 386-868-3411. That's 386-868-3411. Well, it is Healthy Thursday, the first Thursday of every month. We are fortunate to have Miss Nhi Ma Do here with us in the studio. She is a physician associate at Conviva Care Centers. And today...
now called Conviva Senior Primary Care, a CenterWell company.
There you go. It's got a long name now. I like to keep the short one. But
Yes.
it is March Health Focus, and today our topic is going to be our sleep, improving health span with sleep.
Oh, I need that.
Yeah, we need that.
Indeed,
And
yes.
so I want you to pay attention. And if you know anybody who is struggling with maybe sleep apnea or other sleep disorders, you might want to give them a call. Tell them to tune into the program today, because Nhi is going to give us a lot of information that will help you with your sleep. Nhi, welcome to Let's Chat America.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ramon,
So,
for having me back.
The floor is open. I know you want to open with something before I give you the first question.
Yes, sir. And with every month, because we're starting at the beginning, your first show of the month,
Yep.
to be a health focus, we're trying to carry the theme. So far from January, we were focusing on nutrition. We pick a health theme that can tie into that. So nutrition was in January. February was our exercise, a physical activity pillar with the American College of Lifestyle Medicine lined up of pillars. So number 3, today we'll be discussing about sleep. So health. So March health focuses. We picked, there's many, as you know, for every month. So for March, we picked it is observed as Nation Sleep Awareness Month and also National Nutrition Month. Yes. So for sleep awareness, this month encourages our general population to prioritize quality and quantity of sleep, understand the impacts of sleep deprivation, and practice good sleep habits. And for nutrition, March also focuses on educating individuals about making informed food choices, developing healthy eating patterns, and understanding the link between diet and overall health. So do we recall the Eat the Foods That Love Us and Our Bodies Back theme from January? And carrying on, if it's in your house, it's in your mouth.
Right. That's so true.
And lots and lots and lots of fiber, which I will bring that back as we go through our sleep theme for today.
All right. Nhi Ma Do is our guest today. We're going to be talking about improving health span with sleep. Are you having issues with sleep? Well, listen, you're tuned in to the right show today. And if you'd like to call in, if you have an issue with sleep, or maybe somebody you know, give us a call, 386-868-3411, 386-868-3411. And those of you who are watching on Facebook, if you're having issues with your sleep health, put that question or comment on the Facebook feed. Tyler will get that to us, and Nhi will give a response. So, Nhi, let's jump right in. I'm excited.
Yes, me too.
With National Nutrition and Sleep Awareness Month in mind, how can we kind of simplify some of the overall recommendations that you can give with some practical tips?
Excellent start, Dr. Durham. And in terms of just giving it out as like a simplified method, I came up with a little pattern of Nhi's method called the get ready, set, go, start, and then stop, stop, stop. So 8 different steps. So as a reminder first, I just want to review real quick about how the optimal sleep recommendations are, and based on the American College of Lifestyle Medicine handout, given that there is the American Society of Sleep Medicine, the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, the recommendations for optimal sleep, I'm just going to briefly go through it. So infants 4 months to 12 months, 12 to 16 hours per every 24 hours. Children 1 to 2 years of age, 11 to 14 hours every 24 hours, including naps. 3 to 5 years of age, 10 to 13 hours per 24 hours. Children 6 to 12 years, 9 to 12 hours every 24 hours. Teenagers, 13 to 18, 8 to 10 hours for every 24 hours. And after that age, adults, listen up here. It applies to you if you are above 18 and into any age after that. It is recommended. It is 7 to 9 hours of sleep per 24 hours. Your sleep need does not go down below that, and that is the overarching recommendation.
Okay.
So we'll go back quickly through our ready, get set, go. Start, stop, stop, stop. So ready for bed before 11 p.m. and gradually sleep even earlier than that. So let's recall a famous saying. If you don't know this sleep scientist already, look him up. Dr. Matthew Walker states that an hour before midnight is worth 2 hours after midnight. So he said this in a very succinct way, and I'll read one of his quotes later on at the end too. But look up on Google, you can Google this. It is a TED Talk. It's called Sleep is Your Superpower. And he does an excellent job explaining that. So let's get ready. Now, get more daytime physical activity. Recall the February talk that we had. That episode was so much fun. We get ourselves moving, and physical activity, movement matters throughout your day. Get your body tired so that you can get ready for the bedtime. Now we set nighttime mode for all electronic devices, ideally after sunset, and you can do this as an automatic function. You don't have to flip your phone or your tablet to do it every single day. You can make it an automatic thing. Now we go to bed and wake up at the same time each day, whether it's a weekend night or a weeknight, because your body is really structured to go into that circadian around the 24-hour clock. So you're training your body to sleep in that pattern. Now we start developing a bedtime routine to promote sleep, whether that be deep breathing exercise. We have done some in the past, previous episodes of doing just an inhalation into the nose, seal the lips, hold briefly, and then exhale out and prolong an exhalation. A mindfulness practice, a mantra, maybe.
Definitely not
You don't count
stressful
sheeps?
news on TV.
No,
Turn
no.
the TV
Yes,
off.
yes. Don't read anything too exciting or stressful. Or yes. Now we stop. So stop number 1 is stop blue lights 2 to 3 hours before your targeted sleep time. So this will be like just ideally as the sun goes down, your body is recognizing that. The whole goal is when you get into that bedroom, that is your sleep haven, keeping it dark, quiet, with cool temperature, ideally. And I brought my blue light blocking glasses to show you. And sometimes they come in big goggles too. So they just have a little tint that can actually block the blue light. So you don't wear this to drive. You don't wear this in the daytime. Really, you wear it just before, a couple hours before nighttime. Next stop.
And we break all those rules.
Really? Okay, so far.
I've got blue lights outside my house.
And our whole bedroom is lit up blue.
Then
Yeah.
you might want to put those goggles over your glasses
Or-
so that way you block it. And some
It's not dark in our room. It's not quiet because he likes a noisy fan to go to sleep.
well, for some people,
And he likes it hot.
Oh, okay.
I like it cold, dark, and quiet. He likes it hot,
Yeah.
noisy.
And so you have to
And
wear
bright.
your earplugs because
I sleep in another room.
for some people, they do like
Generally, yes.
the white noise.
Yeah.
For those that like the ocean
Thanks for telling
sounds
the
or
world,
like
by
the
the way.
whales. So yeah, the white noise does help for some folks.
No, I start out in the bedroom. I usually end up on the couch somewhere halfway through the night,
Uh-oh.
just so I can get good sleep.
We'll get there too, yes. Oh, the next stop, right? Stop number 2, it will be stopping caffeine or any caffeine containing food or beverages after 2 p.m. or ideally after noon, 12 noon, lunchtime.
Okay.
And then finally, stop any alcoholic beverages in the evening time because that does disrupt your REM, which is the rapid
sure,
eye
that
movement
would.
phase of your sleep. And so there is a secondary thing I want to read up about alcohol. What else can alcohol do? So alcohol may worsen snoring and sleep apnea. It could increase, if you're a woman, hot flashes and also night sweats. Irritate the bladder, increasing need to go to the bathroom at night. Alcohol may also cause
Need that.
more frequent awakenings and less deep sleep, again, the REM sleep. And finally, alcohol may also cause a worsened reflux or heartburn. So that's just a quick note about alcohol.
All right, if you're just tuning in, this is Let's Chat America. We're broadcasting live from the studios of Joy 106.3 FM. We're in the world's most famous beach, Daytona Beach, Florida, and this week is Bike Week, so we are inundated with bikers from every single state in the
Be
country.
careful. We've seen so many close calls already.
But if you're out there, make sure you're watching the roadways because they're darting sometimes in and out of the lanes and traffic. So you need to be very, very careful. The question of the day is on the floor, and if you'd like to answer that question, you can do that. And the question is, was Trump's presidential State of the Union address, was it presidential? We'd like your thoughts on that. Give us a call at 386-868-3411. That's 386-868-3411. Our guest today is Nhi Ma Do. She is a physician's associate at Conviva. She'll give you the full name of Conviva later and how you may be able to get in touch with them if you need to do that. And some of you who listen to this program are patients or you attend some of the things that are going on over at Conviva. And if you are one, you can call in. Let us know. We'd love to hear that. Today we are focusing on improving health span with sleep. And Nhi, one of the things that I've heard or read was that quality sleep can actually increase someone's lifespan. Is that correct?
Absolutely. The health span included too. So when you improve health span, you automatically include improving your lifespan. So our theme has been carried out from the beginning. Since I've been on your talk, we wanted to focus on not only that you want to add years to your life, but you want to add life into those years. So sleep is such an important pillar, and it should be seen. And I know that we talk about how we were going in the order of ACOM pillars, but these are not really like the priority order. They're all equally important. The nutrition is up there, the exercise right next to it, the sleep is right next to it. They're all equally important, and those are foundational pillars. And then we will talk about the last 3 pillars in the next few months as well, from de-stress and social connections to avoiding risky substances, which actually kind of overlap with what we talked about right now already. So
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is snoring a sign that you are sleeping?
So snoring, when you actually have an obstruction causing that snore, that could be a sign that you may be having sleep apnea even. There are actual, and you would do this with your provider when you go to your PCP, there are steps and questionnaires that you can identify what are your risk score and how high it is for you to have like sleep apnea specifically, for example. But some people actually have central sleep apnea too, not just the obstructive type of sleep apnea. So ideally, snoring, if it's like a brief snore or here and there, the person might be just excessively tired and worn out from the days of work or of events. But if it's a consistent thing and you're witnessed by someone else observing you grasping for air, for example, that is a big point, a danger that it could be beyond just a simple snore.
Right.
So
as a clinician that's trained in functional medicine, as well as lifestyle medicine, what is your view about daylight savings time? and hopefully we will be on standard time soon.
Aye, Captain. Yes. Yeah, I'm all for having a standard time where we don't flip and going back and forth so much, because we don't really need to. That was like created not for this modern days anymore.
It was really for farmers to give them a little bit more time out in the field to harvest their crops.
Yes. And
I don't mind the flipping so much. I mean, I don't mind the the change, but I would, if they're going to do it permanent, I'd like it to be evening hours lighter.
Yes. I think
not
a lot of
morning.
I think a lot of us agree with that, because after like you get home from a long day of work, you want to be able to take a walk or like enjoy some sunset before it's pitch dark. But yeah, so some top tips that is a colleague from ACOM that had listed this during a conference session. And also quickly, I want to share something. I did look up this morning just to have a fresh overview of what the CDC survey people that they released in 2022. So this is the data that 38.8% of adults in Florida get less than 7 hours of sleep, which means that you are, so if you're in that group especially, and actually I narrowed down to just our Volusia County, we are right in that area, 30-something%.
How about less than 6 or even less than 5?
Anything that's less than 7 is considered sleep deprivation. So
that's
deprived from sleep. So that's one of the key, like, it's actually very timely this month too, right? When we have hitting the weekend from Saturday to Sunday with the time change, we all are losing an hour. So ideally, we need to be preparing our body to sleep even sooner, starting now, ideally, right? In order for us to be adjusted and quickly just get back to the time that we normally wake up every day and go to bed the same time every day. Instead of just that one night, try to go an extra hour, and it's a Saturday night for those that are off on Saturday night and stay up later. But really try to train your body. Number one is to get morning sunlight, and if you can, try to go for a walk so your body is synced and knowing that, hey, the light is hitting the retina. There's that set up where the brain is telling your body to stop releasing melatonin. You're in the daytime. Make small adjustments to your sleep start time each day until you get onto your new schedule. And this could also apply for those who are traveling. If you are time zone travelers going across time zone, it takes about 1 day for every hour. So in Vietnam, where it's like a 12-hour difference, it's going to take 12 hours, depending on the time change, because they don't have time change there. So it's either 12 or 13. So they will have that amount of days that when my parents went back to visit and come back, it would take them almost 2 weeks to actually get back to
normal.
Yep, to their
Our engineers should be aware of that. Her dad travels a lot from time zone to time zone.
Wow, yeah, it is really
it's a
hard on the
struggle.
body. Yes,
Yeah.
and at any age, not just So, and then lastly, having patience, and grace. So you want to try to keep your sleep duration the same time. If you normally sleep 8 hours, stick with that. If you normally need 9 hours, stick with that too. But be sure to give yourself grace because everyone's different. You may take more time to adjust than the average, and so for some may take more than a day for every hour of change. So just give yourself grace.
Yeah, that's so important. And I think the converse of needing the daylight and getting outside for a walk is staying in a dark space too long. And you do have to have sun. The sun is important. The daylight's important.
Absolutely.
And darkness, I think, can have a detrimental effect if you're not getting out and enjoying the sun and just taking the opportunity to take a walk around the block. I think it makes a big difference. So if you're locked up in the house, get out every now and then so that you
go
can
sit out on the porch.
Yeah, just sit out on the porch.
Sunshine,
Feed the
nature.
birds.
Sunshine, nature, fresh air, all of that.
Makes a big difference. Our topic today on Healthy Thursday is improving health span with sleep. And of course, our expert is Nhi Ma Do. She is a physician associate and a good one for Conviva. If you have a question or a comment, maybe you've got some issues with sleep yourself, give us a call. The number's 386-868-3411. That's 386-868-3411. If you're on Facebook, put a comment there, a question for Nhi, and we will try to get that question answered today. It doesn't have to necessarily be about sleep, because Nhi is an expert on anything to do with your health. So whatever it is that you may be having an issue with, Nhi can give us a great answer.
I'll do my best.
It is 26 minutes past the hour of 12 noon, and you're listening to the number one broadcast in Volusia County and the surrounding area. It is Let's Chat America. So, Nhi, I know you've got some tips and some rules that we might find very helpful for transitioning to a healthier lifestyle with more quality and quantity of sleep. And you heard my wife say quantity is one of the issues she struggles with.
I had 4.5 last night.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So
yes.
give us some rules and tips that'll kind of help us in those areas.
Okie dokie. And I love that because quality and quantity are equally important when it comes to sleep. So my top sleep health tips, right? Remembering about the caffeine, and especially for those who are more ultra sensitive like myself, caffeine has a fairly long half-life, which is about 4 to 6 hours. So it is best to discontinue any caffeine-containing products, beverages, foods, and even dark chocolate.
Oh, I love dark chocolate.
Yeah,
That's
but
my
you
problem.
can have it, but
Before
have
2
it in
o'clock.
in the daytime.
I like to have it at night while I'm watching TV.
Oh,
So I
maybe
guess
you
I
flip
should
it.
stop
There you go.
that.
Yes, you
Yeah.
might be more sensitive than you think. So
Right.
that gives your body time to process it before it could actually affect your sleep later
Is
on.
there caffeine in caffeine-free coffee? Like this decaf coffee?
There shouldn't be a lot of caffeine. I think there's like
No.
trace. I don't know
Trace.
if they can ever do 100% elimination.
Right.
But yeah, no, that could be an option. You really need
I've
your
tried to
coffee.
switch to tea in the
Yeah.
evening. Caffeine-free tea.
Okay.
Like ginger tea.
Okay,
or,
yeah. Herbal tea are perfectly fine.
right.
Yeah, my
Okay.
fiance and I have our routine at night, and we try not to drink too late before bedtime. So that's the other next tip is because we want to train our bladder, right, to empty it out. And those who are more
Yes.
sensitive at nighttime to go more frequent, try a couple hours before that bedtime that you're trying to hit the pillow. Try to limit your intake. And if you have to take your regular meds or anything like that, a little sip would be fine. But try not to have glasses of tea or. But we do love our nighttime routine of our tea time. So herbal tea is awesome. And there is one particular tea that is mimicking coffee, so you can have that instead of having just ground decaf coffee. It's called tea chino. Yeah, so that's another alternative. They have different types of brewing that is in a bag, like a tea. And then there's also here is where we merge the nutrition side for the National Nutrition Awareness Month with our sleep observed in March, a fiber-focused version. So the following foods that can help us increase melatonin naturally in the body. I briefly mentioned about that. The pineal gland that releases our melatonin at night. This is in no particular order of importance or anything like that. So I just want to list each category. So the grain-like foods are the rice, barley, quinoa, roll oats, and just for note for those who are more gluten sensitive, that is barley is a gluten. And then fruits. When it comes to fruits, strawberry, cherry, tart cherry, raspberry, goji berries. Then did you know goji berries can come dry, like a raisin? Tomato, banana, pineapple, pomegranate. For vegetables, asparagus, broccoli. Eat those in evening time. Oh, I'm going to include mushrooms in here, even though they're not quite in the vegetable category. But documentary Fantastic Fungi is fantastic if you haven't seen that. And you'll love mushroom hopefully after that. Nuts and seeds, including chickpeas, almonds, and walnuts, which contain tryptophan.
Oh, they do? I love walnuts.
There you go. Yes. That little palm size for your serving. Sunflower seeds and flax seeds too. These are not like an exhaustive list. This is not everything, but that is quite a few items if you want to start snacking on those as some healthy treats for you. And biggest thing is if you are still struggling despite all of the recommendations with sleep hygiene or changing sleep habits, do ask your healthcare team and go to your PCP to get either a sleep study done, and they now do take-home studies. So you don't have to go to a sleep lab anymore if you're deemed a candidate to be able to get that device sent home and hook yourself up to monitor your oxygen and apneic episodes at nighttime. Or there's also cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. So CBTI is really big, and it needs to be known more because even at the VA has created an app, and this app has been well enhanced over the years, and it's called CBTI Coach. So if you look up in your app store, you can actually find it. If you find it, if you have any issue, call in so we can show you how the app look like. And that's one of many apps out there. But CBTI is extremely effective. So for those with insomnia that you haven't tried that yet, and if you're dependent on a medication to go sleep at night, and that is not something you've tried yet, try to look into CBTI because that is very, very crucial. There was another thing I wanted to mention too. There's lots of resources that I've mentioned so far. You can visit the blog that I have, which is Nhi Ma Do, my full name.org. And you can click on the pillar tab and select sleep. There's a lot of hyperlinks that you can click on and find out because there's so many things that we've mentioned so far, and the resources are immense. With ACOM, with IFM, with AASM, ISSM. So there's all kinds of different institutions that are great out there for as far as resources, and podcasts too. So for those who like podcasts to listen to. Talking Sleep is one of them. So, and then I'll just name a few if we have time.
Sure,
I just
we got
want to
time.
make sure. Okay.
We finished early today, so we got time.
So it's a recommended website. Of course, are these. You can find them and hyperlink them on my blog, so you can actually go to nhimado.org and navigate through any of the pillars resources. So National Institute of Health. There are the reports on sleep deprivation and deficiency, the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, which I alluded to earlier already, the Institute for Functional Medicine, and the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. Those are great websites, just easy to navigate through, and suggestions, and the hyperlink linked you to some of the handouts even.
Oh, wow. I see American College of Lifestyle Medicine has a complimentary sleep handout.
Yes, you have it
so
in
you
your
can
hand.
print it.
You have it in your hand. Actually, that's the one that I read in the beginning with the
okay.
recommendations too.
That's good.
Yeah, and you always want to make sure that you make SMART goals on it. Yes, I gave you the whole packet. So I'll mention that the packets, whenever that you are attending a class at the wellness center or any of the wellness center, our activity coordinators also have access to the handouts that I put together as a packet basically for all of the audience members to have and take home with you. So how do we smartly make our goals for sleep, which is actually on this first handout from the packet that I gifted one to Mo. So being specific, being measurable, achievable, realistic or relevant, and time bound. So those are the goals, Mo, that I would encourage you to try to create for your sleep. So being specific, what are you going to do to improve your sleep quality and quantity? Okay. Measurable, how much time and how many sessions, as in like how often are you going to be trying to do this? Is it most nights of the week or every night of the week that you're aiming for? Achievable, do you have what it takes to follow through? Do you have an environment that is conducive for your sleep improvement? And is this the realistic and relevant? What can you actually do? Try to aim for improvement rather than perfection. And I quote, this is one of the podcast episode on that Talking Sleep. They interview this podcaster interview, and she said, if you really want to stay awake, try hard to sleep. So if you try too hard to sleep, whether it be like being angry at yourself or resentful about how much you have to spend the time to chant or however that you're doing, and you're just not honoring your body, and if you're using your bed as a space to kind of negatively think about sleep, then that sleep haven has been destroyed, right? In that environment. So if you are unable to really get yourself to the mode of sleeping, get out of your bed and go to a different part of the house.
Yes, that's what I do, because I'll lay in the bed for 2 hours and not fall asleep.
And so that's...
So I get up, go in the other room, put on the TV, watch a whole hour show, turn it off. Sometimes I'll go on my phone, which I probably shouldn't, and or go on the computer.
Right, but that's all blue lights.
I
TV
know,
screen,
I know.
your computer, your phone, all
Right.
those are emitting blue light. So you want to encourage yourself to not hold on to those habits.
Maybe I read a book.
You can, yeah. You can read a book with like dim light, right? Instead of bright light.
Right.
And journal. I was going to suggest that next. And journaling, you can do a sleep journal or just a gratitude journal.
A handwritten one, not on the computer.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I did.
Old school.
There's a lot of guided journals out there. You can make your own. Like the questions could be just simple. It could be like, what are the 3 things that you're grateful for today? So it's like a daily gratitude journal that you can turn that into. Or people have purpose journal. What are the 3 purposes that you have? So journaling is actually really helpful. And I probably going to try to go back into journaling more myself. So that could be at the next step. So the next part on this list is documentaries, for example. So there is on Netflix a whole series called Guide to Sleep by Headspace. Headspace is actually also an app. a meditation app. And I really enjoy one particular documentary on Netflix that's it's based on babies. They were studying babies. Yeah, the sleep episode of Babies Part 1. So there's that too.
Sounds interesting.
Yes. So I'll keep going on books, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we talked about Dr. Matthew Walker, our world-renowned sleep scientist, and this is a perfect segue for me to read one of his quotes. So he said that sleep is not an optional lifestyle luxury. Sleep is a non-negotiable biological necessity.
Okay.
It is a life support system. So yes, in his book Why We Sleep, and the other TED Talk too, is an excellent way that he displayed that. And then another doc named Dr. Chris Winter, he also wrote another book called The Sleep Solution: Why Your Sleep is Broken and How to Fix It. So both of these are amazing individuals that have put their work out there in terms of sleep.
Very interesting.
So those are book suggestions for you too, Mo. Perfect.
Yes. And Nhi, how does a person know when they've hit that point of just exhausting their own abilities, that it's time now to go see a sleep expert?
So these are, overall good, healthy habits, changing hygiene tips, but there are folks that will need beyond these tips. So if you have tried everything for, let's just say, give yourself the amount of time that you want to ideally try these out too. It could be a week, it could be 2 weeks. I know that those who have been denying it for months or years, maybe you could relook at this with fresh lens and try them out. Yeah, and really truly ready, get set, go, start, stop. Like really try to go back and apply all of these principles as much as possible. And if you've done everything and you've tried everything already, then it is really important you discuss with your primary, whether that be your doctor, your nurse practitioner, your PA, in that primary care world first, and then they may refer you to the take-home sleep study from a primary care place before you even see a pulmonologist, sleep specialist next. So there are lots of strategies that are in the primary care setting that we can help with our patients. And especially, and I'm going to give a shout out to out there with anyone who is listening and may be having PTSD. So layering the effects of PTSD with insomnia, and so you're getting this compounding effect that you might need more than just yourself trying to navigate.
Right.
So CBTI can be done by a therapist, right? And they have to be trained in doing that specifically for insomnia. So if you do have PTSD or insomnia and you've been doing therapy, you can call in and share with us what your experiences have been, because that is a very significant thing, and that's part of the reason why I feel like the VA has constantly developed and improved the app, the CBTI Coach app, and that app is supposed to guide you, and I'll show you if no one has seen it before. It looks similar to this, very easy navigation. I downloaded it just so I can show it too, and it goes over sleep diary here, Mo, and my phone automatically go into that dim blue light blocking. So if you can do that, you can actually use your phone for that journal rather than doing it on the paper, a booklet. So there's sleep diary in there, there's some tools, how to learn, some assessment, and then they go over your bedtime, wake time, efficiency, so you can log yourself. And sometimes our devices, yes, they can be quite smart to track, but using devices to track is supposed to help you just for the knowledge and enhancement. You are not trying to compete with yourself, right? And that competition sometimes can get in the way of you saying, dang it, I can't seem to be able to consistently get this 8-9 hours of sleep. I'm only getting 7 or something like that. Just,
or 4.
yes. So just being mindful that you are using, if you're tracking devices wise, you're using it just for information. You're not using it to compete with yourself. So that's a quick reminder there too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I know that this looked very interesting to me,
Yes.
Nhi, and I wanted to ask you about that because it is imperative that you get sleep every single day.
Absolutely.
Tell us why.
Why? Simple answer. To tune up our brains. Our brains need it so much. So no particular or certain answer, but there are theories. The two most and very popular theories I'll be discussing at my lecture next week also on sleep is number one, the memory, processing, and repairing theory. And number two is the detoxifying and restoring theory. So let's go over briefly first how the sleep actually works. So without sleep, we can't learn. So this phases of sleep, which we won't have time to go through all the phases, but I'll highlight one important phase of sleep. You know that you go into different stages before you hit REM, right? So this is non-REM stages. In this slow wave sleep, SWS, refer to phase 3 of sleep. It is the deepest phase of this non-rapid eye movement, non-REM sleep, and it is characterized, if you were to be hooked up into getting an EEG, right, you see delta waves. And that's how they monitor how deep a person can get and how long they stay in this phase. So SWS is thought to be important for memory consolidation. If you don't go to that stage or that phase, then you will tend to be forgetful, right? The theories on the purposes of sleep, we go over number one again, memory, consolidation, processing, and repairing theory. When we file all these memory at nighttime, we want to, in the daytime, retrieve it and be able to repair whatever that we don't need to get rid of. So your brain works like a filing machine. Right? It's going to be putting things into the recycling bin when it's not necessary anymore, and it's going to file things away into organized methods in order for you to recall and retrieve.
So if I can't recall something, it's because I'm not getting enough sleep.
There you go. Yes, that is, but it is trainable. Your brain is, this is like a brain plasticity theory where your brain is able, and you can retrain it to do what it's supposed to do again once you get better sleep. So memories are consolidated during sleep, and unnecessary neuronal connections are now pruned. So in a fancy way. So our second theory is on the detox and restoring, where we get rid of the waste products, and these are called janitor cells. So the microglia that is swept out, and these are the broken parts that we don't need anymore, that we are trying to remodel. And this restorative theory, where we build up toxin during our wakefulness, during the daytime, that we need to be able to clear them during our sleep. And here's one big example. We talked about this briefly off air. The increase in tau protein, which may be extracted during sleep. And tau protein is a buildup that is related to one of the causes of dementia. So sleep is very, very important for our brain health. And I would encourage you to look up a YouTube, and it's an interview by Plant Strong, Engine 2 Plant Strong, and it's called Sleep! Exclamation point. Who needs it? Question mark. You do. And that is by the brain docs. So the team doctors, Sherzais, they are neurologists, and they're equally amazing in terms of their speaking and their teaching, and they have been an empowering duo whenever that they speak together. So they both were interviewed during this Engine 2 interview. So, and that you always learn so much about brain health from them because they're a wealth of knowledge. And yes, they were the one that we mentioned last month when we were talking about when we were talking about what is the second most important organ. Remember after the brain?
I remember.
Yes. What was that? Because you remember.
It was the heart.
It was a quiz. It was the trick one. They said it's the legs.
Oh, the leg. Oh, yeah, the legs.
There you go. Yes. So we really wanted to get our strength to build up and build our muscles in the lower extremity in order to pump the blood up into the brain. So that is one of the reasons why it is so important for brain health, is to build our muscles.
Yeah, I
So
remember that.
Remember
I couldn't
strength.
stand up. Yeah, I remember
Yes,
that. Yeah.
remember strength training, everyone.
It's 48 minutes past the hour of 12 noon, and you've been listening to Nhi Ma Do, physician associate at Conviva, and we've been talking for just about an hour now about improving your health span with sleep. And hopefully, if you've been listening, and I haven't been doing much talking, I've been listening, and it's important to know some of these things that Nhi has been sharing with us, because sleep is valuable.
Surely is.
Everything breaks down when your body is not getting the proper rest and restoration that it needs. And that's what sleep does. It kind of refreshes your body and restores all the functionings. It's like your computer going to sleep and you waking it up after it's been in sleep. Your body is the same way. Your body has to wake up and begin the day to function again properly.
So when you sleep, you're clearing out your mental catch.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. Yes,
You're clearing it out. And so, Nhi, I know that Conviva's got a bunch of things going on in the month of March, and maybe some of our listeners might want to pick up on some of those and attend and take part in some of those activities. So what's going on in March?
So we have, throughout Volusia County, the Daytona Market has 9, going on 10 locations soon throughout the market. And now we have a newly added wellness center. So I think we have 6 now. Sorry. I'm going to try to go from like north to south to see if I can recall all of them. So in Palm Coast, we have a wellness center inside that Conviva. And I'm located in Ormond Beach. So we have one with us down in South Daytona. They have a new location, so now they have expanded into including a wellness center there. That's 3 so far. Both of the Port Oranges, East Port Orange and the regular Port Orange location, both have wellness center. And finally, last but not least, the Orange City location. So all 6 now out of the 9. And the 10th one will also be having a wellness center added.
Right.
So in Ormond, I have the calendar for Ormond. I'm going to plug 2 highlighted ones. And the plug for the March 11th lecture will be called Restorative Sleep Through the Lifespan with me.
All right.
And it's 3 to 4 p.m. Try to come a little before 3 so you can grab a good seat. And that will be our sleep health pillar number 3 lecture as we go through the series, just like we are on air here. And then March 19, so not next week, but the following week is on a Wednesday. There is a 3 p.m. I wanted to plug about a gardening club that is starting there. So I'm sure that you can go to your nearest and most local location that has a wellness center and grab a handy dandy calendar so that you can see what activities are going on and that you can invite a friend. You can bring your neighbor. You don't have to be a patient. You can. This is available to all community members and throughout Volusia. So you can bring your partner, your caregiver, and the information oftentimes on sleep. And I want to share this. One of our patients that turned 90 last year had brought not only herself to the class, but she brought her daughter, her son-in-law, and her grandson. So I was quite honored that she had brought her own
Your whole
family.
Yeah.
Her
Like a
grandson
family
was on
affair.
her grandson was on spring break, and so I said. She actually told me the reason. She said that if I'm at this age and I know I can learn something, I know that the rest of my family at any ages can too.
Absolutely.
So they were a very engaged group, and so I always welcome all ages to enjoy the information
That's good.
and the knowledge to
Very
gain.
good.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
All right. Well, we want to thank Nhi once again for always on Healthy Thursdays, which is the first Thursday of every month,
I love it.
being here with us on Let's Chat America. And I know you've gotten some great information too. Hopefully, you've been writing down some of this stuff so that you can put it in your memory bank and retrieve it when you need it.
There you
go.
I forgot to read the phone number. I meant to.
Give us that phone number.
Yes, so the Conviva phone number, the main number to locate your nearest location is 1-866-934-4280. And locally, I'm located in Ormond. This is the 386-506-0111 number.
All right.
So both of those numbers you can write down and check on insurance coverage and where the nearest location to find your closest wellness center. So that will be a nice sneak peek as well as seeing how all the classes run at a center. So.
All right, everybody. You have heard all the information today on being healthy with understanding your sleep patterns and how important it is to get regular rest and sleep.
I'm going to try.
Tomorrow on Friday, we will be right back here on the air, Lord willing, and we'll be going through local, state, county, and national news. We hope you'll be tuning in as well. 12 noon, right here on Joy 106.3 FM. We love you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Love you all.
Thanks for listening, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program here on Let's Chat America.